The Jubilee field was discovered in June 2007, 60 kilometers off the coast of Ghana. The field lies in water depths of up to 1,700 meters, which will pose tough challenges to the team attempting to recover its reserves. But it looks well worth the effort. Recoverable resources are estimated at 600 million barrels, but could rise to 1 billion barrels or more. It was clear from the start that Jubilee could bring enormous benefits to Ghana, so the project team decided with the Ghanaian government to set a stretch target to bring the first oil on stream safely and prudently by 2010. To help achieve that goal, Jubilee's design and fabrication teams have worked simultaneously at sites around the world, in Africa, Asia, Europe and the USA. Here in Alabama, for instance, they're stalking great lengths of the project's flow lines. A mile at a time, it's coiled onto large reels on Technip's giant lay vessel.
What we're doing is doing a world-class project in an area that has not had development before, and that's a special challenge for the team. We can't do things in the exact same fashion as has been done before. We don't have time to do it, but we need to do it safely. We need to do it in a way that we have a reliable system when it gets out there. So I think what needs to be understood is that the uncertainties were greater starting out, but we recognized that, and we made allowances for it, and we adapted the processes that we used to fit the circumstances.
Well, there were quite a few challenges, and in fact, probably one of the biggest was the time associated with getting this project done. We were tasked with executing this project probably much quicker than any of us would have liked. So we made sure we had very experienced people. We focused on relationships with existing contractors and essentially trying to use off-the-shelf proven technologies in all cases.
One of the distinctive features of this project is that it's being led by a truly integrated team, including Tullow and its partners Anadarko and Cosmos. Vitally, this team remained small and nimble enough to make quick and innovative decisions, such as when key contractor Technip proposed splitting the fabrication of the flowline spooling between this site and another across the Atlantic at Dande in Angola.
We discussed it, we put the idea forward saying that we feel it saves time on the installation schedule, helps improve the efficiency of the vessel, get the vessel in and out of the field as quick as we can. If we can come up with an idea between ourselves, we'll assess it and assume, if it's a good idea, we'll go with it. And we've always had the backing of the integrated project team when we make suggestions like this.
It was a team effort. Technip were very willing to work with us and did a tremendous job performing all the engineering on such a short time scale.
At the heart of the development concept for Jubilee is an FPSO, or Floating Production Storage and Offloading Unit. As its name suggests, this is where the hydrocarbons will be processed and stored. Rather than build a new FPSO from scratch, the project team chose to convert an existing and relatively new tanker. This choice was aimed at speeding up the process, but it still left a huge amount to do. Modec's teams had to fill the 335-meter hull with several kilometers of piping and electrical cabling. And they also had to install 18 giant process modules like this, with a combined weight of well over 13,000 tons. But by the autumn of 2009, the Jubilee FPSO was taking shape, ready for a high-level review.
The ultimate goal is that this resource will be of maximum benefit to the people of Ghana and also to our partners, the investors that are putting in their time, their technology, their skills today, knowing that they're on schedule in terms of quality, in terms of time, in terms of cost, gives me the assurance that definitely there will be first oil come December or last quarter next year, and we are happy.
We're standing on the turret, which will be mounted on the bow or the front of the ship. The turret is probably the fulcrum of the overall project. The actual oil and gas will come up from the seabed through riser pipes, and the whole ship rotates around in the weather around this turret.
Where we are is we're at the very bottom of the turret structure. This is basically where the subsea architecture meets the FPSO. Basically what you have is you have the big diameter tubes that come in here. These are for your production of your oil, injection of water and gas, and exporting of gas. And the three smaller connections towards the center line are for the control umbilicals. These umbilicals basically transmit power, low voltage power and hydraulic fluid to the subsea architecture.
One more example of a project-wide commitment to sustainable management of resources and to the protection of the local environment.
But ultimately, the three operators have really grouped together. We have an integrated project team approach. It's almost seamless. Most of the challenges are technical and schedule driven, and that causes us all really to pull together and do what's best for project.
Before long, the turret was complete and had arrived in Singapore, ready for lifting onto the FPSO. At 2,500 tons, it's the biggest lift yet. Even in ideal conditions, it would be a tricky job, edging this bulky and complex piece of equipment precisely into place. And these are far from ideal conditions. In spite of everything, the turret is finally slotted into place and locked in position. A great relief, and a major milestone for the whole project. Houston, Texas. This is one of the great global centers of the oil industry, and the site where some of the key pieces of Jubilee's subsea equipment have been built. Here, as throughout the project, speed has had to go hand in hand with safety.
Now, in this particular yard, we worked close to 150,000 man-hours without a lost time accident in a major construction job with the speed and the haste that we were going at. We feel like that's a major accomplishment. I think it was a great effort by our contractor, FMC, and Spitzer Industries. It's a real credit to them with their processes. Nobody's hurt, nobody's injured, and everything's done.
Early in 2010, the first of the subsea manifolds manufactured in Houston are ready for installation off the coast of Ghana. The manifold will play a crucial role ensuring that the flow of hydrocarbons from the wellheads to the FPSO remains safe and reliable. This is just the start of a massive subsea installation campaign. Over the next few months, our teams will set in place on the seabed a complex array of Christmas trees and pipeline end terminations, as well as 28 kilometers of umbilical cables and nearly 50 kilometers of pipeline.
We're in the process, will be gas coming on shore from Jubilee. That gas and the associated infrastructure will be able to supply power plants, make power down in that region more reliable across the country, and that can help industry. There's a lot of work going on there. There's a big team. We have over 150 people now, both local and some expatriate employees down there. And really they're focused down at Takoradi Port. So we've built a massive pipe yard. There's been a lot of infrastructure investment there. A lot of training for the local people because we're teaching them how to lift safely equipment, to operate the cranes. So that's going on. We now have a working pipe yard. Down at the port, we have all the bulk equipment systems on the port to supply water to the vessels, cement, all the other materials we need. The great thing is to be doing this project for Ghana and for the people of Ghana, and it certainly makes us proud to be taking Ghana into the status of a major oil-producing nation.
This is a very huge project for Ghana, huge in terms of the impact that it will have on Ghanaians, the social impact, the economic impact. It's a partnership of 6 different organizations, and I think that the way the partners have worked to deliver this project, some aspects ahead of schedule, has been wonderful.
But I have actually seen teams come together and pull off some very, very miraculous things, and that's what the high point is for me. We're seeing it come together, we're still on track, we've overcome tremendous obstacles, and we're still going to deliver this first production in the 4th quarter of 2010. A really remarkable achievement.